I just had 3 cups of coffee. 3 a.m. in the book crack morning. Can I transform myself into my favorite music icon? Let's find out. Starting off with brushing out my eyebrow hairs because they be long and tangled. I'm going to be using the NYX Tame and Frame pomade, and I'm just going to go ahead and stencil in the new brows. Billie Eilish normally has very thick and full eyebrows, so we're going to try to achieve that. Billie doesn't normally have a very curved eyebrow, so try to go as straight as possible. And here I am just flicking up the product to create that illusion of individual hairs. Ooh. Up next, I have the Milani Concealer in shade Natural Sand. And I'm just going to drag this underneath the brow to clean it up. Next, I'm going to just blend in the product onto the lid, and essentially this is going to be our primer for the eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to take the Bad Habit Aphrodite palette in shade Seduction, and I'm also going to use an angled brush. Using this shade, I'm going to draw out our new crease. Next, I'm going to be taking a small flat brush, and I'm going to go with the shade Koi, and I'm also going to highlight the lid, going underneath the crease line that we just made. Next, I'm going to take the shade Admire, and I'm using this shade to create a shadow on the outer corner. And I'm going to follow along with the same process on the other eye. Using the same brush, I'm going to take the same shade and put it directly above the crease line that we just created. I kind of want to give it the illusion that we have a hooded lid, if you will. I'm going to be using the same concealer that I used on my eyes and placing it below to cover up our circles. And then we blend onto the skin. Next, I'm going to take the shade Heartbreak. With an angled brush, I'm going to take the product and create a small wing. And we want this wing to go downward to give it that droopy eye effect. Next, I'm going to take my setting spray and spray my eyelids. Using the Magnify Shadow Palette, I'm going to take the first shade. With the small flat brush, I'm going to highlight my inner corner. And I'm going to drag this shade halfway to the eyelid. And I'm going to take Seduction once again. And what I'm doing here is I am technically outlining the highlight that we just placed on the inner corner. And that's just going to enhance it and make it stand out. And I'm going to take this same shade and drag it upwards, and that's going to make our eyes a little deeper. And it should look something like this. Using the same highlight that I used for my inner corner, I'm just going to go ahead and drag it out onto the bottom corner of my eye. And then I'm going to use the shade Seduction, and I'm just going to line it, creating that bigger eye effect. Next, I'm going to take the shade Admire, and I'm just going to use this shade to blend in the rest of the eyeshadow. Next, I'm going to take my CoverGirl Point Plus eyeliner, and I'm just going to elongate the inner corner. It's a very small amount, but it makes a big difference. And we're just going to do that to the other eye. Next, I'm going to take my CoverGirl True Blend Matte Foundation in shade M10. And this is a little lighter, I think 2 shades lighter. So we're going to use that and put it all over our face. What I'm doing here is I'm using the Beauty Blender and blending in my foundation with my eyeshadow without covering it too much. I'm also going to use a foundation to conceal my lips. Using the shade Admire once again. Billie has a little bit of a shadow underneath her eyes, and I think those are her dark circles, so we're going to try to mimic that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose. And I'm going to go ahead and enhance my smile lines just a little bit. Using the Milani Concealer Matte Eyeshadow Palette in Mud. I'm going to use this shade as our contour. And I'm also going to put it a little bit on my temples just to enhance that brow bone. Next, I'm going to take that same concealer and highlight my chin and the sides of my bottom lip. Using the shade Admire, I'm actually going to add a little bit of a shadow on the corners of my mouth. Using the same mud shade, I'm going to go ahead and contour my double chin. And using a little bit of product, I'm going to go ahead and create that split chin effect. Using my favorite NYX Lingerie Matte Liquid Lipstick, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my lips. Up next, I'm going to be using the NYX Lip Pencil in Vintage, and I'm just going to line the bottom and top lip. And I did overline a little bit because she does have full lips. And I'm blending using my fingers. And I'm going to go ahead and take that same light foundation. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this foundation as a concealer to clean the lip area a little bit more. Now I'm just going to take a random blush, and I'm just going to be focusing this blush on normally where I put my highlighter. We're just going to go ahead and curl our lashes. Yes. Next, I'm going to take the Rimmel London Wonder Extension Mascara, and I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 coats on my top lash. Next, I'm going to take the shade Heartbreak. And I'm just creating a false bottom lash line. I couldn't find any blue contacts, so we're going to use the Polar Lights Gray contacts from TTDI. Now that we're done with the makeup, I'm just going to go ahead and fix my hair a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pop on a jacket, and that's it. If you stuck to the end, please like this video and also subscribe. As always, thank you guys so very much. Until next time, bye-bye.